What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several, if you're talented. Please don't tell me that another one of the apprentices has been incinerated. I have enough to deal with right now. I see. I trust that Tolfdir will provide a more specific explanation. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Tolfdir normally looks after your little group, yes? Since he's apparently occupied, and I will need to see this discovery for myself, speak with Urag in the Arcanium. See if he's aware of anything that matches your discovery. And good work. The next time you find yourself exploring Nordic ruins, perhaps this will be helpful. The Sea of Ghosts practically came alive. No one was expecting it. Monstrous waves battered the shore for weeks on end. Winterhold was ancient and weathered, but it couldn't withstand the sea's fury. Entire districts of the city were lost overnight. The waves receded in time, but the damage was irreversible. Most residents of Winterhold abandoned what was left of the city. The college survived, and so here we remain. Personally? No, not I. One of their number used to advise the Archmage when I was but an apprentice here. But that was a great many years ago, before all the members of the Order were called back to the Isle of Artaeum, and it disappeared entirely. All right then.
You look so pale. Are you ill?
Oh no, not the orc. You can't even talk to that guy without getting a lecture. Are those vampires? What kind of experiments are they doing here?
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear? You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful. I know what you want. Word travels fast around here. Discovered some big mystery, huh? Well, you don't even need to ask. No, I don't have anything for you. Not anymore, anyway. I said not anymore. Orthorn stole a number of books when he ran off to Felglow Keep to join those summoners. Some kind of peace offering. I think one of those volumes may have had some relevant information. If you want them, you'll have to talk to Orthorn. Not enough to bother with. Archmage Aaron's approach to these things is just to let them sort themselves out. Although now it looks like you'll be doing the sorting. Good luck with that. He was an apprentice here at the college. Not very skilled, but got involved with a group of mages who took a liking to him. When they left, he took off after them. Stole supplies and books from the college. I suppose as a way to ingratiate himself. Let's just call it a difference of opinion with the college. They were interested in research that goes outside the bounds of what the college allows, so they were persuaded to leave. As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian, and devoted all his time to research and study. But more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up, If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us. A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact. Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials.
You there. I have questions for you. You were in Sarthol, yes? It has come to my attention that something was found there. I am well aware. Tolfdir is still in Sarthol, is he? I shall be expecting a full report from him when he returns. Something was discovered in Sarthol that was significant enough that Tolfdir sent a new member of the college, alone, to deliver word. That sounds precisely like the sort of thing that should matter to everyone, especially me. Thank you for your help. You may go now.
I might have known. Why is nothing ever simple in life? We go to the library to take out a book, and instead end up having to chase down a group of rogue mages. I don't see anyone else having this trouble.
How are you doing? You don't look well at all. Good idea.
Do you have something to say? Well, I plan on sticking around, so don't think you can dump me off that easily. I'm here if you ever need me. Let me guess. You want to talk? Okay then. at the College of Wind. All that I learned this spell that made people naked. It has definitely got to be my favorite. It was all my idea, of course. Oh, I can show you if you like. Oh, calm down. I didn't mean on me, I was talking about on you. You're excited to see me, but perhaps you should wait for a more appropriate moment before trying to dive on top of me.
I'll see you burn.
Sneaking is so much fun. The thrill of almost getting caught is more addictive than skooma. Alright, yeah, now's not the time for talking.
Huh? What is it?
The prisoners are loose.
What was that?
Freya team.
And so you learn the power of the night.
Not sure I like the idea of crouching down behind you. If you dare let one go, then you could forget me helping you. Why are you even talking?
Let me out of here. You have to let me out. Never should have come here. Don't leave me here! Yes, yes! Did Archmage Arin send you? He sent you to rescue me, didn't he? See? I knew Arin wouldn't leave me in here. Hurry and get me out of this cage before they come for me! I don't have them anymore. She took them. The collar. She's the one who put me in here. Please, let me out of here. They threw me in here until they were ready to use me in one of their experiments. This wasn't supposed to happen. I thought they wanted my help, not to use me as a test subject. No, it's the levers in the center there. Just make sure you don't pull the wrong one. Please, hurry. I don't like being in here.
Well,
All
you're
right.
certainly a more charitable soul than myself, but I can see how he could
Thank you,
benefit
thank
us
you.
if we make
I
him
promise I'll
us.
help. And then I'll go back to the college and I'll beg them to let me
Maybe I
back
do
in.
feel a little sorry for the guy.
Yes, of
Not
course.
a lot, but
I said I'd tell you,
little.
didn't I? The caller will have them. She was most interested in one of the volume, although not interested enough to keep me from being locked up. Oh, you've saved me. Thank you so much. Who knows what they'd have... I promise I'll help you get out of here. Ah, well, then I'll just stay behind you a little bit and follow along. Don't you need my help? Well, if you're sure, I'll just be on my way then. Please, do be careful. And thank you. And begin.
Taking it from behind. I mean, taking people from behind. Pulling up on them, of course. Sorry, I just can't keep my mouth shut.
What was that?
I knew it! No more! I yield! I yield!
No more! I yield! I yield!
Yes, I'm listening. Why must I hum? Okay then. You wanted to play this the sneaky way.
So you're the one who barged into my home and laid waste to my projects. How nice to meet you. Names no longer matter. You may refer to me as the Caller. So you're just one of Arin's lackeys.
What
That's
kind of
disappointing.
name is the Caller? More like the name Caller, as he certainly doesn't look capable of much else to me. That was a tough fight. Not. Anyway, do you have the books? Then let's get back to the jolly orc at the college, and let him give us another one of his charming speeches.
Welcome to Warmate. We've got small blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. good doing business with you.
I'm all ears. Okay, but if I hurt my back, you'll be carrying me. Time to move. Oops, I dropped something. Just kidding. Let's not hang around then.
You look like maybe you need a new... Take a look. All right then.
Ah, hello. Bows and arrows for the mighty huntsman. Thank you very much for your business.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Why are my research materials constantly disappearing? Once again, take a look. Until next time.
What's on your mind? Yippee! I love holding people's junk. I'm glad that's sorted.
I care little for idle conversation, but perhaps you need help with If you require assistance with summoning techniques, please, if you would, please also contain your summons to the college grounds. The locals do not need to be agitated further by Atronach. The summoning of undead is even less advisable outside the college. I sure know. Those archaic policies died out with the Mages Guild, and were never enforced here. Necromancy, as any other type of magic, is a tool to be used. Of course, non-mages may not see it that way, so we don't go around flaunting it. Not within society, no. Many who practice within the School of Conjuration do so on their own, secretly. Thalion is the only one I know who is public about what he does. He was once my teacher here, but left the college years ago. I'll teach you some of what I know, but be careful. He didn't like the Archmage. Hated dealing with him. Hated having to answer to him. Valiant said he hated what this place was becoming, so he just left. Arin found a note on his desk, and that was it. I understand he settled down in Hjalmarch, and his presence there caused something of a problem. Until... There are few places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of persecution. That incident in Morthal was just a misunderstanding. No matter what the guards...
Are you hungry? I could... Of course. So, where are we going now?
I don't want to see you treating any of these books. Hundreds of years have gone into assembling this collection. It's going to stay pristine, understand? Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these. Please make sure your hands are clean before touching anything, all right? Fight well.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope. It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education. Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery? Ah, yes. Well, I'll be sure and stop by the Arcanium later. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Ayleid, Dwemer, Daedric, not even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned as I am.
So you're the strong silent type, huh? I bet he must love me talking to you all the time. Then again,
It practically radiates,
spending time with me.
and yet it's unlike anything I've felt before. Archmage Arin is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
I'm afraid I must
No,
intrude. It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We are involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go. Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Psijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you, specifically. So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants. I'll be the one asking the questions. All you need to know is that the Psijic Order is a rogue organization, believing themselves to be above the law. They have clashed with the Aldmeri Dominion before, and I have no intention of allowing that to happen here. Now, you are going to speak to this monk and find out why he is here, and then he will be removed from college grounds.
That book, Daughter of Nibben, I'd like to read it at some point.
I have many important... Find out why he's here and what he wants.
Please do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. It is good to meet you in person. I'd simply like to talk to you. I've given us a chance to speak privately, but I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. I believe it is due to the very source of our concern. This object, the Eye of Magnus, as your people have taken to calling it. The energy coming from it has prevented us from reaching you with the visions you have already seen. The longer it remains here, the more dangerous the situation becomes. And so I have come here personally to tell you it must be dealt with. I'm afraid it's not that simple. You must understand the Psijic Order does not typically intervene directly in events. My presence here will be seen as an affront to some within the Order. As soon as we have finished, I will be leaving your college. I'm all too aware that my arrival has aroused suspicion, especially in Onkano, your Thalmor associate. Nevertheless, my order will not act directly. You must take it upon yourself to do so. As you may have learned, this object, the Eye, is immensely powerful. The world is not ready for it. If it remains here, it will be misused. Indeed, many in the Order believe it has already. Rather, something will happen soon, something that cannot be avoided. We believe that your efforts should be directed towards dealing with the aftermath, but we cannot predict what that will be. I fear I have already overstepped the bounds of my order, but I will offer this. Seek out the Augur of Dunlane here in your college. His perception may be more coherent than ours. He was once a student here at the college. Now he is something different. I presume you refer to Onkano's distaste for the Psijic Order. The Thalmor see our order as a threat because we have power, and we will not allow them to control us. I assure you that we mean you no harm. I am unsure. He is somewhere within the college. Surely one of your colleagues must know his location. I am sorry I cannot provide you with further help, but this conversation requires a great deal of effort on my part. Now, I'm afraid I must leave you. We will continue to watch over you and guide you as best we can. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
I'm sorry. Were you about to say something?
I shouldn't be here.
Well, what is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
A Psijic monk?
Don't play coy.
I guess
You
that
asked to
means you're
see a
not
specific
crazy after
member of the
all.
college. Here he
Although I
is.
don't get
Now
why
what
you
is it that
left
you want?
without saying a word.
There's been a misunderstanding. Clearly, I should
Anyway,
not be here.
I would keep an eye on that
I shall simply
Ancano.
take my leave.
He seems to be stalking you an
What?
awful lot.
What trickery
And
is
needless to
this?
say,
You're not going
Delaware
anywhere
cannot be
until I
trusted.
find out what you're up to.
I am not up to anything. I apologize if I've offended you in any way.
We will see about this.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime.
You must
Several, if
excuse
you're
me.
talented.
I shouldn't be here.
It's no secret that the college's reputation in Skyrim is tainted. Please, don't do anything to anger the locals. They don't need additional reasons to hate. Has Toftir been telling stories again? I thought I made it quite clear that this was a subject inappropriate for conversation. Please, don't allow him to continue to discuss the subject. Beyond asking for you, he never said. Very strange indeed. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I'm working on some very important research, I assure you.
I'm not sure what just happened, but I assure you I will get to the bottom of it. Whatever it is those Psijics are up to, they cannot be trusted. For all we know, he's here to scout out the college. I'm sure they want to undermine our efforts. This orb, the Eye of Magnus, whatever you want to call it, it's clearly powerful, and no doubt they want it for themselves. I expect to be informed if they make any future attempts to contact you. The what? No, I'm quite sure I have no idea what you're talking about. I suggest you mind your own business and return to whatever it is you do here.
It's lies. All of it. I don't care what she told. No? Well, then she hasn't gotten to you yet. But she will. And don't you believe a word of it. It's not enough that you've stolen the spotlight with this eye thing. Now you're looking for the auger. I'm not sure what you're playing at, but you do well to remember your place around here. My problem with her? She's the one who has a problem with me. She's threatened by me, by my skill as a wizard, by my elegance and posture, by my superior good looks. But she is not going to get the better of me. Oh no, I won't let it get to me one bit. That's what she's after. She's trying to undermine my confidence, make me doubt myself. Well, it won't work, I tell you.
Don't trust that one. He's up to something. Most here are up to something, of course, but in his case, it's not good. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. He is rather handsome, though, isn't he?
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing... Well now, there's a name I haven't heard in some time. My goodness, it's been years since I've spoken with him. I suppose he's still down in the Midden, but I haven't checked. Are you going to see him? Do tell him hello for me, won't you? Underneath the college. It's not the nicest place, so if you go down there, please do be careful. Well, I suppose he wouldn't mind. It was all before my time, you understand. I've heard the stories, the same as anyone else. He was a brilliant student, an accomplished wizard, delved into magic in a way none had seen before. But I think he became too focused on just how much power he could acquire. That's what led to the accident. The key to wards is that they take time to charge. Not long, but you can't start casting with a fireball coming at you. Also, if your ward isn't negated by an incoming spell, it will recharge itself after a moment or two. Just be careful. Casting wards requires constant concentration, and you can easily find yourself drained of your magical reserves. Well, yes. This is rather embarrassing, but it seems I've misplaced something. I can't find my alembic. I suppose I could use another one, but... well, it sounds silly, but mine has sentimental value. If you happen to see it, would you mind bringing it to me? My alembic. I need it for some research and can't seem to find it. Mm-hmm.
Chanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim.
Sure, I like the idea of crouching down behind you.
I have heard that Yasago is very interested in fire cloaks. Odd choice. As he's a Khajiit, he ought to be more concerned about getting his fur burnt. Good. I wish I could use a bow that well.
don't see as many Khajiits about these days. I guess they must have gone elsewhere. Do we... Elsewhere? Elsewhere?
Your perseverance will only lead to disappointments. Still, you persist. Very well. You may enter. I am that which you have been seeking. Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun. But those who have sent you have not told you what they seek, what you seek. Indeed. And so you have come looking, though you do not know why. Like others before you, you blindly follow a path to your own destruction. The Thalmor came seeking answers as well, unaware they will be his undoing. Your path now follows his, though you will arrive too late. No, though you may be the last, the one who calls himself Ancano has sought my knowledge as well, through very different questions. Your path differs from most. You are being guided, pushed towards something. It is a good path, one untraveled by many. It is a path that can save your college. I will tell you what you need to know to follow it further. You, and those aiding you, wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware.
They complain about a single arrow in the knee.
To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Archmage.
Well, the Augur of Dunlane looked less hideous than I thought he would look. I guess it falls to us to save the world once again.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Really? And what might that be? I'm sorry, what? Well, I'd certainly love to have such a powerful staff, but I'm not really sure that any of us need it. And how do you know of this? Did you really? And he specifically mentioned the staff of Magnus? I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, someone will need to follow up on this. A most impressive attitude. Keep this up, and you'll do quite well for yourself. Something as specific and ancient as the staff of Magnus. I'm not sure we'd ever find something like that. I seem to recall Mirabelle mentioning the staff somewhat recently. Why don't you see if she can tell you anything? I'm quite pleased with your progress, you know. You've certainly proven yourself to be more than a mere apprentice. Well done. This circlet once proved invaluable to me. I hope it can be of use to you now.
Wouldn't it be nice to just talk a little, you and I? It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. I was just thinking, would you be interested if I told you a little about myself? When I was a kid, my friends used to tease me and call me Vilja the Stomper. They claim it was because I always made so much noise. I suppose they were right. I was clumsy, but it was because my feet were so big. When I was 9, I had as big feet as my mom. But luckily that changed. My feet stopped growing, and the rest of me started to grow instead. I don't think I have that big feet today, do you? You think so? That's good to hear. Anytime.
I have many important things on my mind. Your concerns are not on my mind.
I'm working on some very important research, I assure you.
Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary. Well, now that's an odd question. Why in the world would you be asking? The Eye of Magnus? I can appreciate that this thing, this orb, it's very impressive, very unique, and definitely worth studying. But let's not jump to any conclusions or assign it importance beyond what we're certain of. The Augur. Just what have you gotten yourself involved in? Whatever is going on, whatever you're up to, be very careful. Well, it's said to be very powerful. Has the capacity to store an incredible amount of magical power, as the story goes. But it's more myth than anything at this point. I've no doubt that it actually exists, but no one has seen it in, what, decades? Longer? I'm not sure. The only time I've heard it mentioned was when those Synod characters showed up some months ago looking for it. Mages based out of Cyrodiil. They fancy themselves the imperial authority on magic these last few hundred years. My understanding is that all they really do is make noise in an attempt to curry favor from the Emperor. Lots of politics, little magic. I was quite surprised to find them on our doorstep. They seemed amiable enough, but their line of questioning made me uneasy. It became clear they're trying to hoard powerful artifacts, looking to consolidate power. No one here does. The Synod seemed convinced it was somewhere in Skyrim. They inquired about the ruins of Mzulft, but that's all I remember. It sounded like they were heading there, though they were rather secretive about why. I suppose if you're intent on looking for the staff, there's a chance they might be in Mzulft yet. Just don't expect them to be cooperative. No more than anyone else, I don't. They're a very old... In fact, the Mages Guild was founded in opposition to the idea of the Psijic Order. No one has seen or heard from them in over 100 years now, though.